of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellencies, the Executive Governors represented here, distinguished Senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellencies, Ambassadors and High Commissioners here present, the Chairman of today's event, honorable members of the Federal House of Representatives here present, honorable ministers, the National Security Advisor as represented, the Director General State Services, service chiefs and heads of participating agencies, former Directors General State Services, Royal Father of the Day, Captains of Industry here present, Chairman and members of the NISS Board, the Commandant, National Institute for Security Studies, DSS National Headquarters Directors, the Deputy Commandant, NISS, State Directors of Security, eminent faculty members, Chairman and members of the NISS Alumni Association, distinguished graduates of EINC 14, invited guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. We welcome you to the Serki Mukhtar Auditorium of the National Institute for Security Studies, NISS, venue of this graduation ceremony of the Executive Intelligence Management Course 14. My name is Godi Ometu. I'm a fellow of the Institute, FSI, and I'm also directing staff here in the Institute. Now I'll be anchoring this program alongside my colleague.
My name is Nka Obi Bisong, FSI. I am a directing staff in the National Institute for Security Studies. You are all welcome.
I would like to announce from the beginning that we are pressed for time, so we are mindful of that from the onset. So we appeal for the cooperation and understanding of our graduates and our guests, but also our special guests and speakers. And having said that, we commence quickly by recognizing some dignitaries who have honored the Institute with their presence. And I will start, of course, with our special guest of honor, a man of many caps, an accomplished scholar, a legal luminary, indeed a senior advocate of Nigeria, a grand commander of the Order of the Niger, the vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Please welcome Professor Yemi Oshimbajo.
Thank you very much, Dugan. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have the privilege and honor this morning to recognize in our midst the mother of the nation, a woman of character and substance, President, African First Ladies Peace Mission, founder and chairperson of the Aisha Buhari Foundation and Future Assured Program, the First Lady, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dr. Mrs. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari. Gogo, your presence is highly appreciated. Thank you very much, Ma, for gracing this occasion. Your Excellencies, our special guest of honor, the Vice President and Mother of the Day, have been accompanied to this occasion by an entourage. Please permit me to very quickly recognize the dignitaries on their entourage. On the VP's entourage, we have Senator Sani Musa. We also have, thank you very much, Senator Femi Ojudu, SA Political. We have Laolu Akonde, SSA Media. We also have Ambassador Abdullahi Gwari, SSA Foreign Affairs. Please a round of applause for them. Our Mother of the Day and First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is accompanied this morning by no other person than the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs, Dame Pauline Talen. Other distinguished members of our entourage include wife of the Executive Governor of Borno State, Her Excellency Ajia Falmatu Zulum. We have the First Lady of Bayelsa State, Her Excellency Dr. Mrs. Gloria Diri. The wife of the Ekiti State Governor, Her Excellency Erelu Bisi Fayemi. First Lady of Gombe State, Her Excellency Hajia Asmao Muhammadu Inuayaya. Also on Her Excellency entourage, we have wife of the Edo State Governor, Her Excellency Mrs. Betsy Obasike. We also have the wife of the Niger State Governor, Her Excellency Dr. Amina Sani Bello. The wife of the Kogi State Governor is also on the entourage, Her Excellency Amina Oiza Bello. Last but not the least is the wife of the Osun State Governor, Her Excellency Kafiat Oyetola. Others include the SSA Admin, Women Affairs, Office of the First Lady, Dr. Rukia Gurin, SSA Health Development, Dr. Mohamed Kamal, and SSA OAFLR, Dr. Mario Almakura. Please a round of applause for them. This morning, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to most respectfully welcome to this event the chairman of today's occasion, an illustrious son of the ancient city of Kano, a businessman and philanthropist, an ardent supporter of security agencies. I am talking about no other person than the chairman of the Boa Group, Alhaji Abdul Samad Ishaku Rabiu, CON. We appreciate your presence, sir. Permit me to also announce the presence at this event of a transformational leader, as we fondly call him, an innovator and mobilizer, the Director General, State Services and Chief Host, Alhaji Y.M. Bichi, FWC. Sir, we appreciate your leadership and we are glad to have you with us today. Also with us is the Royal Father of the Day, His Royal Highness, the Emir of Fika, Alhaji Muhammadu Abali ibn Muhammadu Idrisa, CON. Also here is the Magajin Geri Sokoto, Alhaji Hassan Marafa. Please a round of applause for them. I'll invite my co-compare, Mr. Ometu, to introduce the other guests.
Let me quickly recognize the presence of Her Excellency Chief Mrs. Titi Atiku Abubakar. You're welcome, ma'am. We also have in our midst House of Reps Chairman on NDDC, Honorable Bumi Tunji Ojo. You're welcome, sir. We also have in our midst Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Transportation, representing the Honorable Minister of Transportation, Dr. Ajani Magdakene. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. I should have done this. We also have in our midst the FCT Minister, Mohammed Musa Bello. You're welcome, sir. We also have in our midst a former governor of Akwa Ibom State and current Minister of the Niger Delta Affairs, Chief Godswill Akpabio. Senator Godswill Akpabio, I should say. Thank you very much. We also have the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Women Affairs, Dr. Rizkaya Gedri. Dr. Nka, you have the floor.
Very quickly, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, permit me to introduce heads, service chiefs here represented. Representing the Chief of Army Staff, we have Major General M.G. Kange. The Chief of Air Staff is represented by Air Vice Marshal Oyeyemi, sorry about that. Commodore Haruna Rashid is representing the Chief of Naval Staff. The Inspector General of Police is represented by AIG Bala Chiroma, while the Chief of Defense Staff is represented by Major General Isandu. Please put your hands together for them. I think they deserve a round of applause. We also have in our midst this morning the Chairman, Governing Board of the National Institute for Security Studies, Mr. A.A. Gadzama, MNI, OFR, Retired Director General, DSS. Permit me to also specially recognize the following people. We want to, for want of time, we want to recognize all the representatives of heads of agencies that have honored this occasion today. We have with us also the Commandant, National Institute for Security Studies, A.S. Adeleke, FSI Daga, MNI. You're welcome, sir. We recognize the presence of all the members of the Governing Board of National Institute for Security Studies. Also in our midst, we have today National Headquarters Directors of the Department of State Services. Sirs, you are all welcome. We recognize chairmen and members of the National Institute for Security Studies Alumni Association. Finally, we want to recognize eminent faculty members who have taken 10 months to groom the graduates. Please put your hands together. Like my co-compare said earlier, please, we appreciate every other dignitary that has found time to be with us today. It is for want of time that we cannot mention names of everyone that is here. Be rest assured, we appreciate your presence, we value you, and we are sincerely happy that you're here. Please give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you very much. Permit me, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, to now invite Mr. Ometu to present to you a brief on the Executive Intelligence Management course. Ometu, please.
Please permit me to quickly recognize the presence of the representative of the Executive Secretary of TET Fund, who is Architect Uchendu I.M. Wire, is the Director in the Office of the ES. You're welcome, sir. We have also been informed that the Ambassador of Rwanda to Nigeria is in audience. We welcome you, sir. Other ambassadors, we also welcome you. We are grateful for your presence. Thank you very much. Okay. Your Excellency, sir, the Executive Intelligence Management Course 14 commenced on 7 February 2021, and today is a culmination of 10 months of rigorous academic endeavor, leading to the award of Fellow of the Security Institute, FSI. The graduates are senior officers drawn from 24 agencies in Nigeria, comprising the military, paramilitary, intelligence, security, law enforcement, regulatory, and other federal government strategic agencies, as well as from 3 West African countries, Ghana, Liberia, and the Gambia. They are, by rank, deputy directors and above, or equivalents in the armed forces and other services. The theme of this year's course was Governance, Security, and Sustainable Development in Africa, Nexus, Challenges, and Prospects. Sir, during the course, the graduates researched into and recommended solutions to security and development challenges confronting the African continent. They synergized, built international cooperation, and garnered the required knowledge to manage complex security situations in their respective agencies and countries. Perhaps as a reward and a testimony that they have truly distinguished themselves during the course, this set of graduates are blessed to have as special guests His Excellency, the Vice President, as well as Her Excellency, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Yes, appreciate yourselves, you deserve it. Thank you, it is your day in the sun, so enjoy it. It is on that note that I most respectfully invite the Commandant of the National Institute for Security Studies, the Mujia Gwandu, A.S. Adeleke, FSI Daga, MNI, for a brief welcome address. Commandant, sir.
Let me recognize or stand on the existing protocol. We thank God for the great life and love and blessing over our lives in the last 10 months. On behalf of the management, the board, the faculty, and the entire institute community, I most respectfully welcome our distinguished invited guests to the National Institute for Security Studies for the graduation ceremony of the Executive Intelligence Course 14. We are glad that you are able to spare some time out of your busy schedules to honor us with your invitation, our invitation. Today's celebration is the culmination of 10 months of hard work, ton of sweat, denial of personal comfort, and official responsibility in the pursuit of professional knowledge and career progression. It is indeed a milestone in the professional lives of our graduates, worthy of celebration. Distinguished graduates, on the 8th of February 2021, this journey that seemed endless began. Once we started, a copy of the famous expansive template and assignment timelines were distributed to all. And I'm happy seeing how far and well this instrument have impacted on you. Our distinguished guests, there are 66 participants this year, the highest so far. In a special way, I recognize and appreciate all sponsoring agencies, that are represented in this set. Your love and your level of esprit de corps is commendable. The Institute has engaged experts, eminent scholars, policy makers, serving and retired security officials, traditional rulers and government officials, including some state governors, among others, as resource persons to provide various perspectives of the theme, governance, security, and sustainable development, nexus, challenges, and prospects. This was further enriched on the 2nd of this month when the former president of Nigeria, His Excellency Dr. Ebele Goodluck Jonathan, GCFR, delivered the AIMC 14 graduation lecture titled Repositioning the Nigerian Economy for Sustainable Development, Challenges and Prospects. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Executive Intelligence Management course is the flagship program of the Institute. In line with the mandate of the Institute, the overall objective of the course is to provide participants with broader outlook, intellectual depth, capacity to deliver effectively on future responsibilities, and to also build synergy among the participating agencies. We also offer specialized short courses, including advanced security management and security consciousness lectures. Furthermore, starting from this year, as approved by the board, the Institute is collaborating with the University of Ilorin, and we open its door for intake of AIMC graduates to transit to higher degree program in peace and security study at the Institute instead of going to University of Ilorin. The AIMC also includes study tour for practical exposure and comparative knowledge of local states, Africa, and other countries outside Africa, depending on the theme of the study. The tour were of immense mutual benefit, and I wish to use this opportunity to express our profound appreciation to the ambassadors, governors, head of agencies, organizations visited by the AIMC 40 participants. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, I'm happy to report that, as always, the Institute has discharged its mandate very creditably this year. I can attest to the fact that our graduates have met all expectations of the course and are leaving the Institute better than they were in so many ways. They have become worthy ambassadors of their agencies and countries. The highlight of the research findings from the theme of this year were presented to the DGSSS in a special ceremony during the executive brief on 30th of November 2021 at the national headquarters of DSS. In addition to the routine programs, the Institute collaborates with some national and international agencies in carrying out research and activities. The Institute is currently in partnership with UNODC on transorganized crime with the United Nations of Drug and Crime. We equally partner with the African Union Development Agency, AUDA NEPAD, to validate the current self-assessment report. The Institute has maintained the tradition of knowledge enhancement. This year we have 5 publications. They are 2021 volume of Book of Readings, volume 3 of the African Journal for Security and Development, Distinguished Person Lecture Series, Governance, Security, and Sustainable Development in Africa, Issues and Perspectives. And of course, we'll be, in a short while, we'll have a book in honor of our board chairman, A.A. Gazaman, MNI OFR. The Institute during the year equally recorded some infrastructural strides through corporate social responsibility and our own effort. It is therefore a great honor to acknowledge the following for leaving landmark legacy in the Institute. One, we want to recognize our own Director General, YM Bichi, FWC, for construction of a 5-room duplex. And of course, the Ecological Fund of the Presidency, Abuja, for managing our erosion and as well doing asphalt laying of most of our roads in the Institute. Let me also recognize the Federal Ministry of Water Resources for rehabilitation and upgrading our water supply scheme in the Institute. And of course, our friend, the Third Fund, they have made a pledge to build a hostel complex for the National Institute. Of course, Nasarawa State, they have an ongoing project of 5-bedroom duplex that is 80% completed. And of course, Kano State government has promised to give a facelift to this Seriku Muta Hall where we are seated today. Let me also appreciate the graduating participants for donating to the Institute the sport complex of international standard as their legacy project. Let me also recognize individual participants that have made contribution in one way or the other to upgrade the facilities at the Institute. To my graduating participants, please let the spirit of comradeship be your hallmark and instill in you the guiding principle in life to love and be kind to all. Endeavor to sustain the networking among yourself, share ideas and partner with one another in your future assignment. Your Excellency, the Vice President, sir, permit me to specially recognize our special mother of the day, Her Excellency, wife of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dr. Mrs. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, and our entourage, including the wife of some state governors. Your Excellency, ma'am, it is your caring nature as the mother of the nation that propelled you for today's occasion. You are the perfect example of a mother that never abandons our word. We all appreciate you for coming, Your Excellency. And of course, our special guest of honor for this memorable occasion, Professor Yemi Oshibajo, GCON, son, our own Lord James. We recognize you, sir. Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Sir, on behalf of NISS community, we appreciate Your Excellency for honoring our invitation. It portrays further your true commitment to national interest and unity of the nation. We are most grateful, Your Excellency, sir. Our royal father of the day, Emir of Fika, Alhaji Dr. Muhammadu Idrisa, CON, we appreciate Your Royal Highness for always identifying with the Institute. And to the man of the moment, the DGSSS, our amiable father. Sir, you are a rare gift and a blessing to the service. We appreciate you for your unalloyed support and benevolence to the Institute. You have staunchly remained a pillar of support to the success of the NISS. Thank you, sir. May God continue to guide and strengthen you and fortify you with more wisdom as you pilot the affairs of the service. Chairman and members of the NISS Governing Board, indeed, we are grateful for your dedication and commitment to the Institute. Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I thank you all, and God will continue to be with every one of us. Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much, the Commandant, Amiable Commandant, National Institute for Security Studies. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, please, before we continue, permit me to apologize for a mistake I made. The wife of the Kogi State Governor present here is Her Excellency Rashida Yaya Bello. A round of applause for her, please. And I also committed another offense that is capable of expunging me from my own state. I did not recognize the presence of the First Lady of my home state, Lady Dr. Mrs. Linda Ayade, wife of the Governor of Cross River State. I'm sorry about that, Ma. You're welcome. I'm still your subject. On that note, please permit me to most respectfully invite the Chairman, NISS Governing Board, Mr. A.A. Gazama, MNI OFR, for his brief remarks. Sir.
I'll be very brief. So, let me, or permit me on behalf of the Board of Governors, the management, and the graduating participants to say the few words I intended to express on this occasion. I think the National Institute of Security Studies is one of the very innovative decisions the Buhari government took at the onset of its governance. The National Institute, as alluded to earlier, was established to fill in some gaps in the national security establishment, and also, more importantly, to redeem and correct some anomalies in the national security establishment. I believe all of you recall the NSAS crisis. It was just a tip of the many things that were wrong with the Nigerian security establishment. There's this problem of excesses, incivility, and misconduct of almost all the security establishments. It was conceived at the beginning that this institute should churn out or address some of the problems that have bedeviled the Nigerian security establishments. This, in short, are the excesses and the oppressive conduct of security operatives, and also our not having fulfilled our mandates to the Nigerian people and government. So these were precisely the center points of most of the things captured in the mandate establishing this institute. This institute was established to correct most of the anomalies that have bedeviled Nigerian security establishment. And let me say with pride that I think we have, within the short time of our existence, achieved so much in these areas. What the graduating students have been put through to turn a new leaf in the face of most of the challenges facing the nation these are some of the problems confronting the nation in terms of security threats and also lack of cooperation between the various agencies, and above all, support to the government of the day. I want to say with pride that if there's anything the course participants have gained is they are having been inculcated with the importance of change in their attitudes, change in their orientations, and serving the Nigerian people and nothing else. I will want to congratulate the graduating students for having imbibed all that I have said, that they are coming out as a new group of Nigerian security operatives, one in which we will all be proud. So again, let me say on behalf of the board that we are proud of you, and you should be good ambassadors. You should be good ambassadors to this institute and above all to the Nigerian people. Thank you very much. Lastly, let me also welcome the Vice President to this institute. He has incidentally been a very good friend of the service. And Mr. Vice President, sir, we'll continue to count on you to support this institute in not only its policies, but some of its programs. Finally, I want to also thank the wife of the President for having spared the time to come and honor this institute. I think this is the first time this is happening in the annals of Nigerian security organizations. Ma, we will continue to count on you for the support you have always pledged and rendered to this service. So, gentlemen and ladies, I wish to, on behalf of the board, once more thank you for your having honored our invitation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Your Excellency, please permit me. There is an important figure I must recognize, because if I don't do that, our budget, even the budget of the service, may be in jeopardy. So, Chairman, House Committee on National Security and Intelligence, Honorable Shuaibu Ibrahim Sharaf, you are please welcome. And may I please invite you to the please, sir, your seat is here. No, sir. Okay. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we've now come to the high point of this event. The conferment of fellowship of the Security Institute on the graduates. Thank you. It is with great pleasure then that I invite, I'm sorry, sir. Yeah. Give me now. Sorry, no, give me now. Thank you, sir. Now that our budget is secured, we can continue. I also recognize the wife of the governor of Nasarawa State, Hajia Silifat Ablai Sule. You're welcome, ma'am. The deputy commandant is also the director of studies at the NISS. Mr. D.E. Egbeji, FSI Daga, FDC, is hereby invited to present the graduates to the commandant for the conferment.
Your Excellency, sir, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Her Excellency, the First Lady, Dr. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, Father of the Day, my DGSS, all of that distinguished personality here present, good morning. It's been a long 10 months of not sleeping, of traveling across the world, of traveling across Nigeria. And it started on 7th of February 2021. They thought it was not going to come to an end. And I kept flogging them, I kept harassing them, and I kept making them. I'm happy today we can all smile. Because it's not easy to mold a child, not to talk of molding an adult. At this juncture, sir and ma, I have the honor and privilege to call to rise 66 graduates of EIMC 14. May all the graduates rise. Your Excellency, sir, having found them worthy both in character and learning for the past 10 months, I present to you graduate of EIMC 14 for conferment of the Fellow Security Institute of Nigeria. The Commandant, sir.
Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, now is the climax of the 10 months journey for the EIMC 14 participants, the conferment of Fellow of the Institute. Since you are already standing, DG, sir, may I have your permission and Your Excellency to confer on them, all the 66 participants of EIMC 14, the Fellow of Security Institute. By the permission given to me by His Excellency, Professor Yemi Oshibajo, GCON, and the wife of the President of Federal Republic, Dr. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, and of course, my own DG as well, you are now conferred with the Fellow of Security Institute. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Graduates, please be seated. Please, we do not have time, please. Graduates, please, can you be seated? Thank you, thank you. I can relate with the happiness. Please, let's be seated. Our esteemed guests, a lot of them have flights to catch. Please, we have to be fast. It is on that note that I most respectfully invite the Chief Spy himself, the Director General, Department of State Services, YMBC, FWC, for his remarks and presentation of the first batch of certificates. DGSS, sir.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the Vice President, Your Excellency, the First Lady, and your entourage, our distinguished guests, graduates, and your spouses, ladies and gentlemen. Let me join the Commandant in welcoming our special and distinguished guest to this historic and memorable occasion. It is historic and memorable because for the first time we are having dignitaries that grace this occasion, and among who is who in this nation. So thank you very much for that. Let me also appreciate members of the faculty for imparting knowledge on the graduates. As a matter of fact, they are now change agents. When they go back to their respective places of endeavor, you will see the fruit of your labor. To the graduates, let me congratulate you for the successful completion of this course. You recall, when you entered into this institute, you came from different background, with different mindset, different perception, or with different heights and colors. Today, you are going out with your shoulders high. The success you achieved, regardless of the challenges you faced in the course of your studies, will not be quantified until much, much later, because this institute will continue to produce strategists, people that are proactive and they can deliver as security managers in the nearest future. Your success reminded me of the legend in boxing, Muhammad Ali, who brought fame in boxing and sports across the world. The skills you acquire, the patience you adopt, are like that of Muhammad Ali. In the first instance, when he was able to demolish Sonny Liston, because he had a very good coach, as you have members of the faculty that guided you in the course of these studies. They gave him tougher boxers, Smoking Joe, George Foreman. And because he was skillful, strategic, and a master in deception, he was able to conquer these great boxers. In fact, what we taught you is strategy. You should recall that during Ali's fight with Foreman, Foreman's coaches or trainers were just studying Muhammad Ali, and when he said, "I will be dancing and waving all along," The other guy is inexperienced and totally outclassed, but he may not know. The trainers now put foreman, because foreman you cannot pass 2 rounds without him beating you. He beat Joe Frazier. He floored him 6 times in 2 rounds. And that is why whoever fought foreman, you cannot pass 2 rounds. So when Ali said, I will be flying and waving all along, the training was how to get Ali down when he's dancing and waving, or when he flies and stings like a bee. But in the arena, Ali was able to adopt rope adopt. And rope adopt is a skill that helped Ali to maintain his stamina, to maintain the tempo in the fight, while Foreman exhausted himself. And after 2 rounds, Ali teased Foreman that he has survived the 2 rounds. What he did was to provoke Foreman. And when they were in the ring, he said, since when you are young, with mess in your pants, you have been hearing about Muhammad Ali. Now you are meeting me face to face. And Foreman was furious. He was throwing punches all along, but he got exhausted and got defeated. So as you go back to your places of endeavor, the strategies you have studied here or you are taught, you have to apply them. But I assure you that if you go back to your places of work, you see a different ball game. And it's now left for you to adopt another strategy that will definitely allow you to accomplish a mission. You recall the Americans, when they did the war game, they were after the Republican Guards in Iraq. That's during the first Gulf War. But Saddam Hussein just changed that, and he gave them Fedayeen Saddam. Fedayeen Saddam are militias. And they are the ones during the Algerian Revolution. They don't carry arms. They will put, if you use the arm, put it elsewhere, your comrade will come and pick the arms and use it and go. And that is why the Americans could not conquer Fallujah. They have to jump to Baghdad and conquer Baghdad. So you see, always develop yourself. Strategic thinking is what you have to maintain. You should know that success is never ultimate. Success comes with a lot of challenges. And the challenges, one of it is to maintain success. How you do it is at your own peril now. On our own part, we'll continue to support this institute. We'll we will develop further the infrastructure. We give you the knowledge so that we meet the expectations of our consumers. Mr. President is always telling us, come out with new strategies to dwindle or degrade the current security challenges. And you being part of the agents of change, we expect you to do that. You should remember that as intelligence officers, you are supposed to be thrown behind the enemy line. There is no comfort. The First Minister of Defense, Alhaji Muhammad Ribado, once said in the Parliament in 1965, our soldiers must enjoy good housing scheme, they must have good cars, they must have good welfare packages, because when trouble comes, they will be the first to die. Now, we have signed, we are committed to defend this nation. And on our own part as managers, we will give you everything that entails. The President has given us the mandate, he has given us the support, financially and materially. So we must continue we must do everything possible to reverse the current security challenges. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir, my DG. We know that our special guests have very limited time, so we are going to run a higher speed. At this moment, we shall begin the presentation of certificate, starting with the DGSS presentation. On the list, in alphabetical order, Ibrahim Sariki Abdullahi. Ahmed Ibrahim Abdul Salam of the DSS, the two of them of the DSS. Funke Deborah Abiba of the Nigerian Ports Authority. Idris Zakari Adamu of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. John Henry Adejo of the DSS. Tajidun Olumo Adiogun of the DSS. Adedoyin Adechuburu of the DSS. Stephen Adewale Omotayo of NEMA. Peter Nochene Afunanya of the DSS. Olusegun Olugbenga Aguda of the DSS. The next presenter is going to be the Royal Father of the Day, the Emir of Fika. Beginning with Victor Ake of the DSS. Akiniran Akinlade of the Nigerian Immigration Service. Gloria C. Akobundu of NEPAD. Joy Amadi of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria. Adedapo Amau of the DSS. Baba Ahmed Azare of the Nigerian Police Force. Aisha Baba Ahmed of the Nigerian Immigration Service. Okay. The next presenter is the Chief of Defense Staff or his representative. Aisha Baba Ahmed of the Nigerian Immigration Service. Adebowale Ayodele Adedeji of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria. Isaac Chikere of the DSS. Helen Ngozi Chukwemeka of the Nigerian Correctional Service. Okay. Kenneth Kofi Dako, our Ghanaian counterpart. Thank you, sir. The next set will be presented by the Chief of Army Staff as representative. Dauda Usman Neva of the DSS. Ibrima Balde of the Gambian Armed Forces. Ibrima Kamara, also of the Gambian Security Forces. Maria Ejima Enes of the DSS. Eze Chinedu of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Olawale Francis of the Nigerian Customs Service. Bolade Felix Adegbuyi of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. Don't finish it. Humble. Godwin Michael Gidado is of the Nigerian Midstream and Midstream Petroleum Regulatory Agency. The next presenter is the Chief of Naval Staff or his representative. Abubakar Hussaini of the DSS. Garba Tuko Idris of the ICPC. Roslyn Izuagbe of the DSS. Muhammad Tahi Kalamu of the Nigerian Immigration Service. The next presenter is the Chief of Air Staff or his representative. Chief of Air Staff. Akim Olaomi Karim of the DSS. Ayola Suleiman of the DSS. Kwayong Futong Washington of the Liberian Armed Forces. Sahid Olarewaju Lasisi, Nigerian Midstream Petroleum Regulatory Agency. Okay. Abdul Mumini Lawal of the Nigerian Immigration Service. Kabiri Kasina Lawal of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Yusuf Lawal of the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board. Andrew Paul Longcam of the Federal Road Safety Corps. Shehu Ibrahim Mike of the Standard Organization of Nigeria. The next presenter is the IGP or his representative. Thank you very much. Garba Mati of the Nigerian Correctional Service. Abdullahi Mohammed of the Defense Intelligence Agency. Easy, you are going to throw this down. Mohammed Musa Yankari of the DSS. I hear you are going to throw this down when I'm not here. Nadia Mohammed Soso of the DSS. Bata Yaga Indiprea of the Federal Ministry of Industries. Very good. I think if we will throw it down, leave it, continue. Haruna Koko Nuhu of the DSS. Jonathan Nyam of the Defense Intelligence Agency. Who? That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, divide them into two. The next set of presentation will be done by the Chairman of the House Committee on Intelligence and Security. How many am I giving him? What are we? Who is there? Haruna Koko, I collected, okay. Jonathan Inyam has collected, okay. Mary Okereke Obasi of the Nigerian Police Force. Ibekwe Ogbadu of the Nigerian Navy. Emilomo Fawowe of the Office of the Secretary of the Government of the Federation. Adenike Messi Nwolola of the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria. Johnson Amadi Ojogbane of the EFCC. Sunday Okwebo of the Nigerian Police Force. Gabriel Oluda of the DSS. Samuel Sunday Oyedeji of the Federal Safety Corps. Olusegun Ebel Oyinwola of the DSS. That's the last one. It's okay. We don't start when I cause confusion. No. That's Gabriel Oluda. Mohammed Sani Saleh, Nigerian Customs Service. Quick. The last set of certificates will be issued or be given by the Minister for the FCT, our landlord. Sagiri Samaila of the DSS. Aminu Sani Daura of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria. Abayomi Shongole of the Nigerian Police Force. Imam Suleiman Ibrahim. Abdul Ghani Suleiman of the DSS. Ibrahim of the Refugee Commission. Abdul Razak Ude of the Nigerian Army. Last but not the least is Francis Usani of the EFCC. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Hey. Wait. Come back. Where's the special certificate? That's the word. Okay. I have the pleasure to invite the chairman of the occasion to do a special presentation for the graduating participants with the best project. He is no other person than Yusuf Lawal of the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board. Yes, don't go far. Don't go far. Tell them not to go far. Okay. Don't go far. I have the singular privilege and honor to invite our amiable, the mother of all mothers, our mother of the day, the First Lady, Aisha Muhammad Buhari, to make the next presentation to the best behaved graduating participant. Your Excellency, ma'am. And the best behaved participant, as judged by the faculty and all the participants, is no other person than Yusuf Lawal of the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board. Finally, I have the distinguished pleasure to invite to do the last presentation the Vice President, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency, Professor Yemi Oshibanjo, for the best graduating participant of EIMC 14. He is no other person than Karim Akim Olawumi of the DSS. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you very much, everybody. At this juncture, I call on the mother of the day, Her Excellency, the First Lady, the wife of the President, Aisha Muhammad Buhari, for her brief remark. Your Excellency, ma'am.
His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Honorable Minister of FCT, Honorable Minister of Women Affairs, Honorable Minister of Niger Delta, DG SS Yusuf Bichi, Commandant NISS Musa Said Adeleke, Board Chairman of NIS, AA Gadzama, the Emir of Fika, the wives of the governors here present, my beautiful ladies, the representatives of service chiefs, distinguished senators here present, members of House of Representatives, members of Diplomatic Corps, the graduates and their spouses, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to witness the graduation ceremony of the National Institute for Security Studies Executive Intelligence Course 14. The graduation ceremony today comes at a time when our country is in dire need of high-profile security personnel in tackling security intelligence that confront this nation. I understand that the graduating participants are mostly staff of various security agencies that requires specialized training in security issues. It is therefore my belief that the 10 months rigorous training has equipped them with relevant knowledge and experiences needed to tackle the current security challenges in the country. I congratulate the graduates, particularly the female graduates, and my dear personal staff for their successful outing, and equally challenge them to utilize the knowledge and skills acquired more effectively. I commend the efforts of Nigeria Institute for Security Studies and would like to once again encourage them to promote culture of gender parity and ensure equal opportunities for both men and women in terms of admission and other activities in line with the United Nations Security Council 1325. And when I step into the hall, it reminds me of when I was having my master's course in Nigerian Defense Academy in Kaduna. And I was having a feeling of enrolling into this institution. But when I heard about flogging and DGSS kept emphasizing about Muhammad Ali and so on, I think I've changed my mind. My grandchildren need me. Thank you so much, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Ma. We appreciate your gracing our occasion. Our distinguished invited guest, while His Excellency, the Vice President of the country, has a very tight schedule and a program to execute immediately after this. We plead with all our invited guests to remain seated when the Vice President and others leave, because the program will continue. At this juncture, may I have the privilege to invite the Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Oshibanjo, for his good message. The President, sir.
Thank you very much. Please sit. Your Excellency, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Mrs. Aisha Buhari, Excellency, the wife of the former Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Hajia Amina Titi Atiku Abubakar, Excellencies, wives of the governors of Bayelsa, Borno, Cross River, Edo, Ekiti, Gombe, Kogi, Nasarawa, Niger, and Osun states, distinguished and honorable members of the National Assembly present, the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs, the representatives of service chiefs, the Director General of the Department of State Services, Mr. Yusuf Magaji Bichi, our host, the Board Chairman of the National Institute for Security Studies, the Commandant, National Institute for Security Studies, Royal Father of the Day, His Highness the Emir of Fika, distinguished graduates, participants, and staff of the National Institute for Security Studies, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. The chair and members of the board of the Institute and the DG, thank you very much for the kind invitation to join you at this graduation ceremony of the Executive Intelligence Management Course 14, 2021. Let me say that when I listened to the list of those who are receiving the special prizes and awards, and I noticed that neither my own Chief Security Officer nor the Chief Security Officer of the First Lady, who is also in this course, received a prize. So I realized that there was no man in this thing. Very fair. We must commend the foresight. We must commend the foresight of the founding fathers of the Institute in recognizing the need for a place of learning and research of this caliber to equip members of the security and intelligence community as well as those from other agencies. It's in the recognition of the strategic value of this institute that President Muhammadu Buhari in 2019 elevated the institute to the status of a national institute by consenting to the bill. Establishing the institute. I'm pleased to know that you have not only continued in the illustrious tradition of your predecessors, but you've also set new standards of scholarship, excellence, and creativity here at the institute. Commendations to the directing staff and the board and members of the institute. But it is to the graduates of the Executive Intelligence Management Course 14, 2021, that our heartiest congratulations are due. After 10 rigorous months, you have now attained the special privilege of preferment to the rank of the Fellow of the Institute, FSI. Well done indeed. Permit me then to address you on some issues which I believe you should take into account in the special status, especially, that you have now attained. You are in many ways the creme de la creme of our security and intelligence services. You represent the emergent leadership elite
of this crucial arm of our defense and security infrastructure. What you know or do not know is what our defense architecture knows or does not know. How well trained you are, how competent and how knowledgeable you are directly correlates to how safe and secure this nation of 200 million people is and will be. The burden of responsibility you carry is an enormous one because it literally is one of life and death. Your task is made more challenging because we exist today in a profoundly complex and often volatile geostrategic environment. Let me identify at least four major challenges in the environment. The first is the global dimension to local security. The second is the size of this country and the challenge of covering the extensive terrain. The third is the availability and use of technology by criminals and terrorist individuals and groups. The fourth is interagency coordination. The question of global dimensions to local security challenges speaks to the complexity that every local challenge invariably has a global or trans-border link, meaning that you cannot solve the local problem without understanding the international dimension. So take the insurgency in the Northeast as an example. You cannot fully appreciate its scope without recognizing its linkages with the Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb, Al-Shabaab, and the so-called Islamic State or Daesh in the Middle East. The insurrection itself, the Boko Haram ISWAP insurrection, has since metamorphosed into an insurgency that troubles three other countries, Chad, Niger, and Cameroon. Or how does one strategize against the alarming numbers of weapons available to criminal gangs in every zone of the country without fully investigating the various international routes, especially from the Sahel region, for the smuggling of small arms and light weapons? So clearly, our security and intelligence elite must be geostrategic in their conception of solutions. As thought leaders and planners of our security architecture, we should expect that you will familiarize yourself with the history, with the contemporary activities, and the modus operandi of these international terrorist groups that have links with local terrorists. You must understand their financing, how they transport arms and ammunition, and what technology is or will be available to them in the coming months and years. On the issue of the huge terrain of Nigeria, as a practical matter, policing and securing a large population that lives in a large country poses a unique challenge. For example, the fact that Bama, a single local government area in Borno State, is larger than Lagos State, has implications for our understanding of what constitutes an effective policing or law enforcement footprint on the ground. Mashegu local government in Niger State is 9,182 square kilometers, beg your pardon. That means that it is larger than 10 individual states. The fact that Niger State alone is larger than the entire southeast of Nigeria is crucial to any conversation about the effective distribution of security assets in the country. It is also clear that we cannot secure or police a country of this size with human assets alone. We must therefore leverage technology. At a time when national resources are stretched thin, we have to come up with the technology-driven solutions to addressing our security needs. Whether we are discussing the law enforcement and policing of our borders, or surveillance or reconnaissance programs that are aimed at identifying criminal elements within our coastal waters, or locating terrorists hiding within the general population, the challenges are the same. We must become much smarter in the deployment of intelligence, in the deployment of surveillance and reconnaissance tools to compensate, especially for the human resource deficits within our security establishment. When applied creatively, technology can be a force multiplier, amplifying our potential and our capacity to effectively secure our territory. It's not enough to know that we should deploy technology for surveillance and combat. At the heart of the complexity of the security environment lies the technology and the way it has empowered criminal non-state actors with capabilities that just decades ago could only be exercised by nation states. Now, criminal non-state actors have access to weapons of the type that only nation states had in the past. So, for example, look at the various criminal and terrorist possibilities in the so-called dark web. The dark web, as I'm sure you know, is a virtual underworld that hosts global illicit economies that has proven difficult even for state actors to infiltrate. Within this underground universe, transactions including illicit weapons, illicit drugs, child trafficking, even weapons of mass destruction are being conducted. We must obtain cutting-edge knowledge of the various iterations of technology and the various possible lethal and non-lethal uses: artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotic process automation, edge computing, quantum computing, virtual reality, augmented reality, blockchain, etc., etc. There's so much today that we need to learn about. There's so much, and a lot of it has to be by self-education. There are no standard courses for learning all about these things. It has to be by self-development. We must not only know about these technologies, we must also develop the expertise, even for writing the algorithms and the codes for intelligent equipment. And we must be prepared to deal with the new and lethal weapons that are coming on stream today. How about the whole range of cybersecurity intelligence and cyber intelligence and cybersecurity? The digitization of communications, information, and financial services has led to a complex virtual infrastructure which now undergirds the global economy. While the development of digitization itself holds tremendous opportunities and promise, we must not be unmindful of the latent and manifest dangers. As we move more and more of our information, including strategic information and financial transactions online, certain strategic vulnerabilities must be accounted for. One is the threat of hacking and other cyber crimes, which could inflict damage on our cyber infrastructure and compromise critical sectors, including military, defense, telecommunications, and financial services. The threat environment that you are tasked with engaging is not the same environment that existed even just a decade ago. This bears emphasis. In strategic national security terms, we must recognize that it is a new day and a new age. Your challenges are new. And while I sympathize with you, because it's a lot to deal with in a world that is far more complicated than that which your predecessors operated in, but I must also add that you are functioning at the most advanced moment in human history. You are better equipped, better resourced than at any other time in the history of man. And this is so self-evident. I usually give the example of the smartphones that we carry today. The smartphone that you carry today has 100 times more computing power than all the computing power that the Apollo spacecraft that carried men to the moon in 1969 had. That simple equipment that you're carrying today. So we're better equipped. Than anyone before us. In any event, it has fallen on you to be the generation of security and intelligence practitioners that will marshal Nigeria's responses to the variety of threats that confront us. And there's no doubt that in marshaling these responses, we must be smarter and more imaginative. We are compelled by the exigencies of our age to be much smarter in the way that we go about our business, not only because we're in competition with well-equipped non-state actors, some of whom are hostile, but also because we must keep pace with society itself. In addition to being much smarter, the perils of this new age challenge us to become even more imaginative. The business of intelligence necessarily entails the capacity to expect the unexpected, to foresee the impact of unintended consequences and black swan events. That is unpredictable, and usually it is the unpredictable events that we must be prepared for. We must plan, especially because we have been given the responsibility to think ahead of a nation of this size and of this complexity, it falls upon our laps to plan ahead and to be imaginative. It's not enough for intelligence services to anticipate the threats that they have a clear line of sight to. Indeed, given the resource constraints that we face, we cannot afford to wait for the threats to become manifest dangers before we react. Our intelligence service must be proactive rather than reactive, ahead of the curve rather than behind it. Threats must be identified and addressed well before they evolve into manifest perils. It's a very heavy burden indeed, but the truth is that the intelligence community, by the very nature of its mandate, is charged with being several steps ahead of the rest of us. This requires a high capacity for imagination. In fact, I'll go so far as to say that in many respects, a failure of intelligence is a failure of imagination. On this note, I must stress, I must emphasize that if there is any gift or skill that should define the intelligence officer of this new age, it is imagination. Being able to think in terms of multiple alternative scenarios, variables and possibilities. Imagination is also a function of what you read and what you listen to. What are you reading right now? Have you read the latest books on the dark web or the activities of global criminal networks? Are you intensely, constantly acquainting yourself with the most up-to-date thinking and knowledge in the security sector? The knowledge economy and the information age is characterized by constant innovation, and it is moving swiftly, and it is so fluid. Conventional wisdom is becoming obsolete every single day. The security and intelligence sector is not exempt from all of the dynamics that face our world today. So the point of constant learning is not only to keep us in touch with current trends in the space, but also to enhance our abilities and capacities to identify the threats that lie beyond the horizon. But I must say that, perhaps the most critical area is that we must reinvent the institutional culture of our security and intelligence agencies. Our security and intelligence agencies must adopt a culture that is empirical, data-driven, analytical, and defined by forensic rigor. Above all, we must emphasize interagency collaboration and synergy. This is absolutely important. We are as good as the synergy between all of the agencies, law enforcement agencies of government, security agencies of government. We're as good as that synergy. And this administration has not shied away from investing in that sector. In May this year, arising from the deliberations of the National Security Council, the President established the Committee on Needs and Assessment of National Security Requirements. And he mandated that committee to look at all of the special needs of defense, security, and intelligence agencies in the light of current challenges and to recommend options for containment. The President personally handpicked the membership of that committee, which had representation from the military, the police, the security, and intelligence agencies, and he asked me to chair it. As a result of the work of the committee, the President signed the supplementary budget to the tune of 802 billion naira for military, security, and intelligence agencies and for their special needs. Now, this was in keeping with his commitment since the outset of the administration that he will ensure that those charged with keeping Nigerians safe are adequately equipped for the job. Beyond this, Mr. President also emphasized an approach that leverages interagency collaboration, joint operations, technology-driven enablers, and the optimization of existing capabilities to avoid duplication of resources and expenditure. So everything that we need is being provided. Today, those of you who are graduating at the front lines of an existential struggle. We are not just fighting to preserve the Nigeria of today, but for the opportunity to leave a better country for generations to come. It is a struggle to realize the words of our national anthem and make Nigeria a land where peace and justice truly reigns. The nation of our dreams is still evolving. There are challenges, but they are surmountable. And every victory that you reap through your immense courage and toil, even sometimes in the teeth of danger, serves to bring that new Nigeria into being. Certainly, your labors will not be in vain. You have now a better equipped situation for the command and strategic positions that you already occupy. I have no doubt in my mind that as you return to your respective security organizations and countries, you will bring fresh ideas and renewed vigor in the service of your respective countries and units. I'd like to congratulate you again, the FIS. God bless you. Thank you very much.
For want of time, as I said, our special guests have another function to catch up in the next 20 minutes. I want to please, on behalf of the NISS community, especially invite the DGSS to make a souvenir presentation to our special guest, the Vice President of the country, Professor Yemi Oshibanjo, and the First Lady of our country,